Secrets out about what Trump's really adding to White House during renovation. Libs are furious. President Donald Trump and his family embarked on a 17-day break from the White House, where the commander-in-chief will be conducting business from his golf club in New Jersey. This is a working vacation of necessity since the Trumps are displaced from the West Wing while renovations are underway. We've heard that contractors will be working on fixing the aging HVAC system, making some repairs to the steps, and perhaps resolving an nasty cockroach problem that the Obamas left for their replacement to deal with. While these things are all necessary, there's one massive change that's secretly underway in this renovation that just got out. Among the many methods the left has employed to take President Trump down in his candidacy and now with him as president, are baseless scandals, namely the ongoing drama liberals have created to say that Trump colluded with Russia. However, what's a bigger issue than this, is Barack Obama's leftover staffers who remain in the White House. They are the real vermin issue, more annoying than the actual cockroach infestation that Obama let fester for years. While contractors cleaned out the cockroaches, Trump's right-hand woman, Kellyanne Conway, suggested what else could soon be installed to resolve the infestation of White House leakers. The Washington Times reports. Kellyanne Conway, counselor to President Trump, said Friday that the White House may have staff members take a lie detector test to determine who is leaking sensitive national security information. Well, they may not. There are many different ways to discover who is leaking, Mrs. Conway said on Fox News. This is really incensing the people who are here to serve, and that begins with the president and the vice president, our cabinet, and our chiefs of staff. Mrs. Conway emphasized that while leaks of internal fighting, or even in the Russia investigation, are serious, the leaks concerning national security are the most dangerous. Remember, grand jury investigations are meant to remain secret, so someone leaked it. It could be anybody on the grand jury, could be one of the lawyers, it could be anyone, I suppose. But what really should concern everyone are leaks that concern national security. Leaking phone calls of our president and other heads of state is nothing short of a national disgrace, she said. This seems like a genius idea, and since the problem of leakers keeps presenting itself, it only makes sense to slow the flow by making people prove their honest intentions if given the privilege of working in the White House. Of course, the left hates this idea because it deals with being truthful, which doesn't jive with their agenda. Liberals at MSNBC criticized Conway's idea by taking a comment she made completely out of context. They wanted to make the point in twisting her words about what's completely demoralizing to say that forcing staffers to submit to a lie detector test was. However, if there wasn't a leaking problem that benefits liberals, then there would be no need for this. MSNBC reports. Conway added that it's easier to figure out who's leaking than the leakers may realize. Let's note for context that 2 weeks ago, Kellyanne Conway appeared on the same program and said asking prospective White House employees to comply with Office of Government Ethics rules has left many of them completely demoralized. If routine ethics paperwork has left members of the president's team completely demoralized, one wonders how those same staffers might respond to lie detector tests. Perhaps it's incidents like Obama's leftover Muslim staffer getting fired by Trump which they don't want happening anymore. After the president found out what he was doing behind his back for months, it only made sense to terminate him, but could have been avoided long before that point had he taken a lie detector test and is behind suggested now. Just as John Kelly was making his way into the White House working for Donald Trump, George Salim was making his way out. Salim was in charge of former President Obama's program that attempted to redirect Islamic immigrants away from turning to jihad lifestyles that often lead to violence and mass destruction. That program was listed as countering violent extremism and identified by initials CVE started off as a new way to prevent terrorism, but eventually became a huge failure. The concept was to attempt redirection of Muslims to better lifestyles, but to encourage Muslims to report when they notice someone is turning toward evil. The problem with the program was that government kept spending money on it, but it failed to yield results. There was little return on the investment because the Muslim people involved were not reporting the people who turned to jihad. This was evident as attacks continued and no one had any intelligence on the attackers. Had the program been a success, then perhaps the attacks wouldn't have happened. Those attacks include the brutal shooting at Pulse nightclub in Florida and pressure cooker bombings in New Jersey. Learning the intentions of the person running this program long before it was too late could have prevented these attacks from happening. With all Obama left behind and the way liberals are working against the success of President Trump, it's not such a silly idea as the worried left likes to say to test who is being honest or not unless you have something to hide. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe Breaking News 365 channel. Goodbye and see you again.